Joining us now with his thoughts on the debate, Republican Senator Tim Scott from South Carolina. He's the ranking member on the Senate Banking Committee and was a candidate for president himself this cycle, and also mentioned as a possible vice presidential candidate. That whole narrative always bothers me because I don't equate corporations with rich, those are the elites and the rich people, and I think a corporate tax cut made sense. I think it helped. I think there's a reason that factories are built here. But I want to grill you on something else.
Yes. I want to answer that question too, Joe.
You can. But Steve Leisman just said, will the free trader stay? Well, he didn't say it this way. I'm saying it this way. But last night, is there any free trader here that's still around in the United States?
Absolutely. I'd be one of them. I'm one of them. No question about it. Listen, the free traders are part of the Republican Party, but more importantly, we've seen the expansion of the Republican tent. We saw last night J.D. Vance had a dominant performance. What he talked about was the fact that there is a forgotten voter in Ohio, in Pennsylvania, in Michigan, and he spoke specifically to them. One of the most important parts of being a good communicator is knowing who your audience is, and he struck the right chord for the audience that we as Republicans need to continue to attract into our party, the big tent party, so that we have 4 more years of Donald Trump and the majority in the Senate. I thought J.D. was fantastic, and the coach fumbled the ball early on in the game.
All right, but Senator, do you think...
How so? How so?
Yeah, well, I'm curious.
Yeah,
I think some people thought that J.D. did well. Other people thought that Walz did pretty well.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure what stations you're listening to hear Walz did well. Coach Walz fumbled the ball at the beginning. He was nervous. He was focused on his notes more than he was the audience. J.D. Vance was confident. He was clear. He was consistent. He was in command. Right. Coach had an opportunity to talk about.
Can I go back to ask you about free trade, please? Can I just do that? Because you're saying a big tent. What does that mean? Free traders and protectionists?
Well,
what is it?
It means that people who were better off 4 years ago want to be better off the next 4 years.
Let's focus.
And so you can look at the granular aspects of the policies, and they're very important. Here's an example. Walz said last night that because of tax cuts, we had $8 trillion of additional debt. That's hogwash. Because of tax cuts, we had more revenue come to the Treasury in 2018 and 2019. What we saw happen was COVID, which obviously landed a ton of debt on our backs. Walz talked about this big government approach to solving problems. J.D. Vance said, we're going to believe in the American people. He talked about the TCJA, and it delivered for the average worker. Why? Because for the single mom making $40,000 a year in 2017, we cut her taxes by 70%. The bottom quintile, their wages grew faster under the Trump tax cuts than the top. That's the kind of performance you want if you're focusing on people working paycheck to paycheck.
Are you a free trader, Senator? Do you agree with all the tariffs? Do you think John Deere 200%?
Listen,
do you think companies that make stuff here should be a 15% tax? That's industrial policy, isn't it?
I believe that President Trump oftentimes talks in the abstract.
Okay.
Number one. Number two, I do believe that we have the final...
So what are we supposed to believe then?
Well, listen, let's believe his performance. Believe what we saw for 2017 to 2020. Well, let me finish because you asked a good question. What should we believe? We should believe that a 21%, reducing the taxes from 35 to 21%, repatriated almost $2 trillion from around the world, bringing it home. We should believe the 7 million jobs that he created, and 2/3 of those jobs went to African Americans, Hispanics, and women. We should actually believe in what he produced. Yes,
that excludes. Obviously, that excludes COVID, right? Part of what you're saying is we should sort of take this timeout period around COVID and not include that in.
That's not what I'm saying at all. I would actually say that if you look at COVID itself specifically, they said that you couldn't get a vaccine in 10 years or 5 years.
No,
he did it in 9
I'm saying
months.
on the economic numbers, and the reason I'm raising this is because when we try to do an apples to apples between the Trump administration and the Biden administration, invariably what we hear is, look at all of the economic growth during the Trump administration, but by the way, please don't look at the last year, and then look at how terrible we say that the Biden administration did on a relative basis, but by the way, please don't even contemplate the idea that anything happened before that as it relates to COVID, right?
Let us ask the American people, are they better off now than they were 4 years ago? The answer is Emphatically no. Why? Because when the average family
we were writing them
is
checks
spending
with Donald Trump's name on them.
$1,000, $1,075 and lost spending power, of course you're not better off. When gas is up 50% more than the last month.
And why do you think that was?
Well, obviously, there's two reasons. Number one, the reasons why the average American family has less spending power today than they did beforehand was because the first vote the Democrats took in January 2021 was that. Can I finish my comment? Thanks so much. $1.9 trillion of additional spending from the federal government
after
that
already coming out of it. Yeah.
As an accelerated inflation. Inflation hits 9% in July of 2021, leading to the crushing effect of high inflation that we haven't seen since the Jimmy Carter years on the average person working paycheck to paycheck.
That's easy to explain there. That we saw around the globe as it relates to inflation. If you're going to put all of it on that bill,
so do you disagree with that? Here's how you do it. You go from the $1.9 trillion to an infrastructure bill that was $1.2 trillion, and then an Inflation Reduction Act that was another $800 billion. You add it all together. Artificial stimulation from the federal government always causes a crisis in the real economy, which is the private sector.
The U.S. economy continued to grow and have less inflation than just about everywhere else in the world. So how do you explain that?
It's simple. We went into COVID with the strongest economy in the world, and of course, we had the wind be on our back as opposed to in our face. This is kind of easy to explain to the average person in our country. The bottom line is a simple one. Economically, you were healthier under Donald Trump than you are under Joe Biden. Number two, globally, we were stronger, more powerful, and frankly, we had respect around the world. And number three, the greatest invasion across our southern border has happened under Kamala Harris's watch. The border czar barely made it to the border, and now that she's behind, she is now rushing to the border. She now believes in a border wall. She says her values haven't changed. She was against the wall, for open borders, and now she's for it. She was against fracking, and now she's for it. I don't understand what there is for us to debate on this topic, to be honest with you.